Hello everybody and welcome back to Electric Mindset. Today I have something really cool to show you. It's a neat twist on the bullet hell genre that really caught me by surprise. Let's take a look. The graphics settings in this game are as simple as full screen, flash, and screen shake settings, but to be honest, the flash and screen shake settings are a great touch. Other than that, you have a toggle for sound, and that's really all you need. When I first saw the menu with the pleading words flashing at the bottom, "We need the 40 files now, this hard drive is the only thing left of mankind, help us now." Right away, I knew that I was in for something weird. The first time I actually got into the game, I very quickly learned that this wasn't like any other game I've played before. The story is basic and vague, but essentially you have to retrieve the files by fighting waves of bugs and other digital entities. While the story of the game may be simple, I can assure you the gameplay has enough quirks to make up for it. As you go through saving files, you unlock various boosts called routines. These routines can be anything from changing your weapon fire type to completely changing how the weapon works in general. One thing I really liked is that if you enable one of these routines, it will take up a spot of VRAM, allowing you to use that boost in the chosen file, but it will be tied to that file going forward, making it unable to be used again. Now, if you get better at the game and come back to that file, you can disable it and then beat the level again, making that routine allowed to be used again. In other words, you're kind of taking it back. This encourages you to replay earlier levels once you start getting into the insane files later on. The enemies are varied and each one brings a new type of threat you have to deal with, whether that be from attack type or movement type. There are little twists to some of the enemy AI too, like the spider enemies running away if you run towards them, but pursuing you if you back down a little. And of course, the elephant in the room is the unique way you aim, or rather, don't aim your weapon. The weapon is always aimed at a circle bouncing around the arena, which means if you want to hit your enemies, you have to think about your placement, the enemy's placement, and the aiming reticle's placement. This causes some intense fights as the arena gets more crowded. Overall, this was a bullet hell game I couldn't stop coming back to. The game follows the pixel-packed theme of being jammed inside an old system. The color palette for the game is a lot of green, reminiscent of the Matrix screens you probably remember. The enemies aren't all blocky threats though. Some of the enemies seem organic in their movements and genuinely made me feel uncomfortable when I first saw them. Enemies like the spiders and the angry red sperm I never got used to at all. They are just creepy and the world would be better off without them ever existing in the first place. I am happy to say that the game runs perfectly and I never encountered a single bug the entire time I was playing it. I really loved the look of the game and it really brought me back to those old arcade days. The music in the game is very simple but will get inside your head and stay there. All the weapon and enemy sound effects are awesome and used extremely well. Like I said before, everything really comes together to make it feel like a classic coin-feeding arcade experience. Now, if you haven't been able to tell, I really like this game, and I would like to see more from this developer. With that said, if you aren't good with dealing with a ton of enemies in close quarters, this game might not be for you. On the other hand, if you like classic-styled chaotic gameplay with a great twist on a long-established genre, then absolutely pick this game up. Lastly, as always, I would like to thank Punkcake DLSU and the Indie Game Collective for allowing me to show this game to you folks. It's worth mentioning that the developer has a Patreon promising one new game every month, so if you like the sound of that, check out the link below. In the end, I wasn't expecting to get as much time out of it as I have, and I haven't even managed to crawl my way to the final file yet. Can you do it? If so, let me know in the comments below. Well, that's what I wanted to show, and if you liked the videos, it would really be helping me to support more developers if you liked and subscribed for more content from me. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you next time. Cheers!